Hey today, hey everybody. Here's a geek thing vlog that I kind of wondering about is superhero action figures. They have superhero action figures, right? You know, they have Marvel Legends, they have DC Universe, Multiverse, whatever it's called. The Hasbro owns Power Rangers, so they make all the weird different superheroes from them. And they own a bunch of other people. Hasbro owns like the American versions of like the Tokushaku line or whatever it's called. Which includes Big Bad Beetleborgs, Power Rangers, Masked Rider, Kamen Rider, VR Troopers, all that stuff. Technically, I think Hasbro owns all that. I think that when they bought Power Rangers, technically what they did was they bought Saban, and Saban owned all of those other things too, so really they got more. There was more involved than what you think. Just like when Disney bought Marvel, they got everything finally. So, officially now, they had to wait a little while because Fox still owned the X-Men franchise. And that's why they had that big thing about why in Marvel movies and the Marvel TV shows they couldn't call the enhanced individuals, they had to call them enhanced individuals. They couldn't call them mutants because for a little while there, Fox still owned all the mutant rights and the X-Men rights and all that. But now Disney, I think it was like officially last year, Fox lost the license and now Disney owns it all. They own it all. Just like they did with Star Wars. They bought them. Anyway, the point is, they make the superheroes. All the superheroes, they make all the superheroes, right? But they usually only make them in their costume superhero identity form. Now, sometimes the superheroes don't wear a mask over their face, so you still get to see what they look like with their face, which is kind of weird because and silly because if someone can see what you look like, if somebody can see what you look like when you're in superhero costume form, then wouldn't you think that they would be able to notice what you look like when you're out of it? Like, with Superman, he wears glasses, so he looks like me right now. But then, he's no glasses and he's Superman. I mean, do I really look that different when I take glasses off? Or do the people in these Marvel and DC Comics universes, are they just blindsided to the fact that the person's wearing a superhero outfit and doing superpowered things, and then they can't see? It's like you can't see the forest because the trees kind of deal or something? I don't know. Because the guy's just doing all this stuff, or girl, they're just doing all this heroic stuff, and you can't just, you can't tell, you really can't tell that when they're not in costume, that person, hey, wait a minute, doesn't that person kind of look like that other person? You know? And technically, they're always, Superman is worst, because his motto is supposed to be truth, justice, and an American way, right? Well, he is the most lying of them all, because he keeps the secret of him being Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter. He's such a big liar, man. Come on. Liar. Man, freaking liar. Thought he was for truth, justice, and American way. I think they dropped that American way part because reasons. Because he started becoming a global superhero. You know, because globalism and stuff. Can't be American exclusive. I don't know why not. Maybe because it's kind of unfair that America has has a whole lot of superheroes. They don't have a whole lot of superheroes. If you look in the comics, they're all over the place. They're all over the world. America just has the best opportunity for them. Ha. Except sometimes they don't. Like in the X-Men franchise when we didn't like mutants very good. So some of them went to Genosa, which was... Genosa was a pretty nice little place for mutants. After a while, Genosia became a safe haven for mutants. It was even run by... it was a safe haven for mutants. It was even run by Magneto. And this was after he decided that the Brotherhood of Mutants thing wasn't working out for him. So this is like when Magneto finally was like, okay, how about instead of trying to destroy all of humanity, we just hang out with ourselves and be isolated and secluded. Eventually Magneto went from being bad to wanting to like kill all humanity, all because what humanity's done to mutants reminded him of what the Nazis and Hitler did to the Jews from his childhood. That's basically his whole entire story. But after a while, that gets irrelevant because, you know, it's old news. I mean, at the first time of the printing of the show series, it makes sense. But in a more modern day setting, it doesn't make as much sense anymore that he would think that way because humanity's changed. It started being nicer to mutants. So he just... The mutants he doesn't want exploited. Yeah, exploited. He takes to Genosia and they created their own little mutant society. Pretty cool. Even though the governments of the world do want to exploit the mutants. After a while, well, wouldn't you? I mean, they got these superpowers. But anyway, if you were a government of the world, wouldn't you want to figure out a way to exploit and use and regulate these people with these superpowers? Seriously. Shouldn't they be entitled to the same rights, laws, and privileges as regular people, even if they have special abilities? Shouldn't they be set to a higher standard because of their special ability? Because of you know, they have a special ability, meaning they need to be personally responsible for any damages because of that special ability. At least once they've figured out how to properly use it anyway. What kind of self-respecting government wants mutants to just go around doing whatever the heck they want to with their special powers? No, there's still laws. Duh. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that with all these superheroes, we have them always in action figure lines. They're always in costume, uniform. They're superhero uniform or their superhero costume or whatever it's called. Unless, of course, it's a character that doesn't have a superhero costume or uniform. But then it's usually and even the villains usually have a crazy villain costume. But you hardly ever see the villains outside their costumes. And then you see some villains that don't wear a costume. That's just their standard look. Like Lex Luthor. How many suits does that guy have? Does he ever wear anything other than a suit? Because he's always wearing a suit. Same with Kingpin. That dude must have a special tailor that makes him, because he's big. And you know he's big. But he's not fat. Contrary to popular opinion, Kingpin is not fat. He's more like a sumo wrestler big that's like bulky, buffy big. Bulky, buff big. He's not really fat big. So, if y'all think Kingpin's fat, he's not fat. He's more like Samoan. He's more like Samoan, big, bulky. Samoan. Not not fat. Contrary to popular opinion. But he's always Samoan.
Whatever those wrestlers are.
Yeah, Samoan.
Samoan.
Not sumo, Samoan. There's an island where it has these big, bulky people. The NFL recruits a bunch of them for being football players.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, Samoans. Because for some reason...
It's owned by America. It's called American Samoa.
Yeah, it's actually owned by... It's actually a territory, America Samoa. But for some weird reason, the Islanders are like big and bulky and like... it may be the way they live or something. And have something to do with the genetics there because... It's kind of a secluded island, sort of. So, that might have something to do with it. Genetics and having to live kind of primitive for years and years and years probably has something to do with it. But anyway, the point is, that was a little tangent. A little tangent about Samoans. See, you get little tangents on this channel sometimes. Kingpin is probably a Samoan. That would explain why he's the way he is. But he's got to have a tailor. Come on. Only thing he ever wears. Now, they messed up on Daredevil. The Daredevil movie, I admit the Daredevil movie is good, but they got a black dude to play Kingpin. Kingpin is never displayed as black. He's always been white. What the heck? But if he was a Samoan, it would make more sense for him to actually be black, because there's more black Samoans than there are white Samoans. So he's an oddity, anyway, because if he's a Samoan, he's white. Which is odd. He must work out a lot or something to make him super strong like he is. I don't know. Or maybe he's got like special mutant ability to make him extra strong. I don't know. You'd have to look. You probably have to look it up and figure out why he's so strong. But anyway, he's like the kingpin of crime. That's why he's called Kingpin. It's not even his real name. I think his real name's Fisk. Yeah, Wilson Fisk or something like that. But anyway, he's always wearing a white suit. But he's like so big that he'd have to have a special tailor to be making him all these different suits. I mean, what do these people do? What do these rich people have? Like a closet with like 50 different suits? Because Norman Osborn, he's another one of those rich guys that you always see him in a damn suit, unless you see him as Green Goblin. Green Goblin? Hobgoblin. Anyway, it's one of the goblins. He's one of the goblins. Or both of the goblins? Are the goblins the same goblin? Or are they different goblins? I think one's Norman and then the other one's Harry. Well, because Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn, his son, and I think it's Hobgoblin and Green Goblin, or maybe it's Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. But anyway, y'all can let me know in the comments which one it is if y'all are all into that comic stuff. I'm pretty sure you can look it up on the comics Wikipedias or whatever, like Marvel Wikipedia and DC Wikipedia and all that. But seriously, these rich people, they're always wearing suits in all the episodes, all the scenes, everything. Shoot, even some of the even some of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are always wearing like suits or their S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform or whatever. So but so are military people. Military personnel are always displayed in like their military skivvies, their uniforms. Skivvies is if you're in the Navy, so it's not really skivvies if you're not in the Navy. I don't think it's called something else.
I thought were underwear.
BTU, Battle Tactical Uniform. I think that's what it's called. That's what they normally wear. That's their normal wear. They're hardly ever wearing their dress uniform, unless, of course, you see like a general or something. And anytime you ever see like a general, they're usually always wearing their uniform or their dress uniform.
Yeah, because they only come out when they...
They're always wearing their dress uniform, which is kind of silly sometimes for them to be always wearing their dress uniform. But In the comics, if you see somebody higher rank, like officer, he's usually wearing his dress uniform, and when you see someone lower rank, they're usually wearing their BTU. No matter what the time period is, and even if there's a battle going on, which is retarded because a general. And realistically, even when a general comes, like when they showed up in Vietnam and different places, when a general showed up to an actual battlefield, they would be wearing the same uniform as everybody. They'd be wearing BTUs. They would not show up wearing full dress attire. Or you only go to like special like dances and events and meeting the president or the governor or something in dress uniform. It's dress uniform is dress uniform. It's a special occasion. Normally, you'd be wearing BTUs. Even out in boot camp, you'd be wearing BTUs. It wouldn't matter if you were higher rank or not. You'd be wearing BTUs out in a battle. You would go to the... You'd be wearing BTUs in most cases. Unless, of course, you worked at the Pentagon. If you worked at the Pentagon, it wouldn't matter what rank you were, you're always in dress uniform. You could be a private working at the Pentagon. Which I don't know if you could be a private working at the Pentagon. I think you'd have to at least be the lowest officer to even get clearance to work at the Pentagon. Maybe. Probably. You'd probably be the lowest officer rank that you could be. So, like lieutenant, I think that's what it is. I think lieutenant. But the point is, you'd always be wearing your dress uniform, which became your standard uniform. So it's not really a dress uniform anymore. You wouldn't be wearing all the medals on it because, well, you could, but that would be kind of silly to go to work every day wearing all your full medals and everything that you earned. You would probably more likely be wearing just your standard uniform with your standard insignia on it of what your bars, of what rank you were, and that thing. You might have a couple of the medals that you were proud of. You might have you might have the patches for the division that you work with on your shoulders, but other than that, you probably was wearing what's known as the field dress uniform, not the fancy dress uniform. Two different ones. Because it was your everyday attire, you would have multiple uniforms of this uniform. And that's why wearing all the medals would be kind of dumb, because you'd have to literally have multiple sets of every medal just so you could wear them on every day on different uniforms. It'd be too much trouble to really do that. So, if you have action figures of people that are in the comics of those characters, which usually you don't have very many action figures of those, they usually have what's known as like a standard figure, like a standard shield agent action figure, or, you know, that has the standard uniform and it's like a male figure or a female figure. Because if it's not a popular character, it's not going to get its own figure. You're not going to get a figure if you're not like a popular character that's in multiple stories. You're just not going to get one. Even though a lot of the characters wore the same uniform, or the same outfit, and those are just background soldier characters or agent characters or whatever. You could easily make a standard police officer figure or a standard shield agent figure or whatever for those people. So that's not really that big a deal. But most of the superheroes are wearing like a special uniform that's only for them. I guess apparently nobody does what's called, except Chameleon, nobody impersonates anybody else on the planet, because you would think, well, oh, that's Superman. We know that's Superman because he's wearing the Superman uniform. That's Batman. That's whatever. Everybody knew who everybody was because of what uniform they wore, right? I mean, nobody thought, hey, I'm going to wear the same uniform as this other guy so I can impersonate him. I guess they don't have impersonations in there. In the Marvel and in the comics universes. I'm going on a lot of tangents. Anyway, the point is, which I might have to do in the next video because I'm running out of space. I need to quit going on tangents, but y'all like the tangents because these videos with my faces sometimes get way more views and more likes than my game videos. I don't know why. Oh, I thought it was saying 30 there for a moment. I got 10. It says 21 minutes. I get 32 minutes in videos. So I will have time to get to the point. Which I should have just started out with the point. And I wouldn't have got on the tangents, right? Anyway. The point is that they make the action figure lines. The action figure companies are losing loads and loads and loads of money by just making the figures in their classic uniforms of the hero they're making. Then they make like 20 different variants of that figure. Oh my gosh, I'm tired of variants of the same figures. They're stupid and they're waste of mine and anybody else who collects his action figures money. Personally, I don't really buy them full price. I wait until they're like bargain sales or whatever. And I'm not really that into the collecting of the brand new stuff that's in the boxes. Because, no, I prefer to like buy some old stuff. The new stuff's not always as good as the old stuff. The old stuff, I like the old stuff because it's usually loose already, which means it's cheaper. The new stuff, I don't collect in-box figures. Unless, of course, they're cheap. If I find them cheap, then I'm cool. I'll collect them, but then I'll open them. Because I think figures need to be opened and played with at least once. I mean, it's like Toy Story. Who wants to be stuck in that box for years and years and years? Like that toy's like, is someone going to open me? Is someone ever going to open me? Is someone ever going to open me and play with me? Oh, sad. So, don't get me wrong. You guys that collect the figures and y'all keep them in the boxes, sometimes a figure's better in the box. It's kept in the package in the box. Because some of these figures, they tear up way or too fragile and way too fragile when you open them. That they just tear up. They look better if it would have been better to just cap them in the box sometimes. And, well, if you want a carded figure, it's pretty cool. I mean, some of those old figures still in cards, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's no need to open them if you have one already, or if you can get a loose one and you want to have an open one. But it's only cooler the older the figure is, because the older the figure is, the less they printed, or the less that are still around that are still in box. So those, I'm like, that's cool to keep them in box. But me, I like to open them. Most of the time, I like to open my figures. Unless it's like a super rare figure or something, then it might be worth keeping in the package. But then, if I find them in package, I like to try to like laminate the package, the box art package thing. That way I can preserve that box still. You know, that way you can still preserve the box without having to keep the figure in the box. Or package, or whatever you call it. Yeah. But that's just me. That's just how I roll. I do it. But I'm perfectly fine finding loose figures that are missing pieces. I'm perfectly fine finding loose figures. Hand can be gone. It don't matter. It's just battle damage. You just lost that in the battle. It's fine. I'm perfectly fine playing with loose damaged figures. And you can always take loose damaged figures and customize and build your own figures. All you need is like hot glue. All you need is hot glue. Or rubber cement or some kind of glue. Break apart your broken figures and put this leg on and that leg with, and this head and that arm or whatever with stuff. You can make custom figures. You don't have to be fancy to make them. Just take a bunch of broke figures and make your own figures. Now then you got the people that are making customs that are fancy. Excuse me. But that's okay. That's what they do. If they want to do that. They usually get paid to do that though. Or they're doing that for their own collection. So, and the reason is because, well, they don't make certain people or certain variants that they actually do want. I will admit Marvel Legends is great because you can actually pop their Marvel Legends heads off any Marvel Legend figure and put the head on another Marvel Legends figure, which works great for customization. Doesn't work too good because on the other, well, some of them have extra hands too, so you can do that with their hands too, I guess. But it'd be cooler if you could literally, like Legos, you could literally snap apart every single piece and mix and match. That would be even more cool. But they don't want to do that. Then we'll be making our own figures. And then we won't be buying their figures. Duh. But what they could be doing, that they're not doing, is making secret identity action figures. Like, give me a Bruce Wayne action figure. Or a Clark Kent mild-mannered reporter action figure. Or whatever the secret identity of any of these heroes are. Seriously. They could be doing that. That's what they could be doing. And another thing they could be doing, supporting character superheroes action figures. These are supporting characters that they're not really a superhero, but they're like the best friend of the superhero. Like Jimmy Olsen action figures. Or I do believe they do have Lois Lane action figures. But that's because she's like Superman's girlfriend and stuff. So and she's a popular character. But there's like these figures that aren't that popular that they could be making action figures of and making money. I know they wouldn't have. I know that the figure wouldn't be that popular, but they still could make the action figure of it. I mean, it'd be like supporting characters. There's plenty of supporting characters in movies and TV series of these figures that you could be making these like supporting figures, but they just don't seem to be making them. I think they would do better making the secret identity action figures. Like they could have like a secret identity line where we get to see all our favorite classic heroes in their classic in their classics and their currents and their different alter egos. Anyway, in their secret identities that, without having to have their uniform on. They don't need their costume. We need figures of them we need figures of them when they're not in costume. When they're not caped crusaders. When they're just doing their normal everyday lives. We could do that with both villains and heroes, because a lot of the villains don't necessarily wear. Some of them wear costumes, and then sometimes they don't wear costumes. So that's cool. And then you could just give us some generic. You could give us some generic figures. I mean, We know the comic book universe is filled with police officers. We know the comic book universe is filled with military people. We know it's filled with civilians. Where are regular, average Joe, average, normal, regular people action figures? Somebody needs to come up with the average Joe action figure line where we have like construction workers and plumbers and carpenters and...
You're on a tangent.
Yeah, I know, I'm on a tangent again. But I already done got to my main point earlier. So this is part of a good tangent. The military soldier guy. We got so many different soldier action figure lines. We don't need none of that. We need some like action figure lines of like average Joe, regular people, office worker dude, office girl, secretary, businessman, suit guys, lawyers, doctors, teachers, you know, nurses. Seriously, this could be a whole entire line of action figures that somebody could make, and they could make them as good as like Marvel Legends figures or whatever, or DC Universe figures, and you could be like, I know someone that's in that field, and you could like get him that action figure for his like birthday or something. Come on, it would be amazing. Or that's what I do for a living. I need an action figure of that. It would be super awesome. And it could come with you like accessories, like briefcases and tools, like hammers and shit, different tools, and all like doctor tools and lawyer tools and businessman tools and cash register lady or cash register man, and it come with like a cash register. You know, it'd be cool. Everyday normal people action figures. Why hasn't someone thought of this? They're missing out on an opportunity to make millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Because the average person is an average person. Matter of fact, they could call it average person. Average person. Average person action figures. If someone makes that, and y'all got that idea from me, you owe me millions of dollars. Just a disclaimer right now that if y'all come up with these ideas, y'all need to give me some credit for coming up with them, because I said them first right here on YouTube. I said it first. So, you should give me some credit. I have the ideas, but no way do I have the money to do any of this stuff. No way. I don't know how they're going to... It takes a lot of artists to sculpt and model and all that stuff. I'm like, no, Hasbro, somebody else, Galoob, one of these other toy companies, Mattel, what's the other one? There's a bunch of different toy companies. Y'all can do it. Have fun. Just give me some money because y'all watched my video and y'all discovered that. And if you don't, I have proof right here on YouTube that I came up with the idea first. Hopefully I came up with the idea first and no one else has made a video, because then I have to, you know, get in a class action lawsuit with the other guys who came up with it. But anyway, the point is that I have this video, and as long as this video exists, it's kind of proof of me having the idea, and I could actually use that probably, maybe to a degree, to sue a company for coming up with an idea that I've mentioned. It might be a loose issue to do it, because I didn't never actually copyright my idea, so it might be the most they might. The most lawyer could do is probably get the company that I sued to like settle out of court and give me like something like a couple of $100,000 or $1 million or something like that. These rich multi-million-dollar corporations would probably, or billion-dollar corporations, probably just be like, he did come up with the idea. He has half proof. Let's see if there's a way we can get him to shut up. Oh yeah, here's $1 million. Now shut up, please settle. Shh. And then the lawyer gets like $100,000 of that. Still, that's $900,000. Man, I could do a lot with $900,000. Anyway, I say come up with the figures, and then what I would settle for is $1 million. You give me $1 million cash, and you could give me like 1 penny for every action figure you sell, And I want one free action figure of every one of them you make. That's the deal I want to make with you right now. Corporations, I'm making a deal with you right now. If y'all make it, give me $1 million for the idea, plus one free action figure of every one you make, shipped to my house, plus 1 penny for every action figure you make. That's all I'm asking. Come on, that's a good deal. Then you can do it whatever you want to. You can even hire me. I can come up with some more ideas. I can make some more money. You can make some more money. We can all, live happily ever after. Making money. Money, 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 money. Anyway, remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Keep on gaming. Keep on collecting. Action figure on. Game on. What kind of action figures would you like to see? Comment down below. And remember, Jesus is Lord, Jesus is God, Jesus is King. He's ruler of everything. And I hope this video actually didn't make 2 parts, because it's gone past the 32 minutes. Anyway, bye.